build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello everybody, welcome to your Friday morning short bangers. I'm Matty.
Morning, I'm Colin.
Good morning, I'm John.
Nice one.
Good morning, eh? Just because we know it's going out in the morning, and they can listen in the morning, no way.
Some folk do. You get the listener details soon. There's a decent chunk of folk listen to it almost. So it goes out at 6 o'clock in the morning, and by 9 o'clock we're into treble figures on it.
Aye.
Which is not bad going, like for the first couple of hours of a podcast. I believe there's something like if you get, where did I read it? So maybe like a year and a half ago. It's something if you get over 300 listens in your first 48 hours or something, you're in the top 5% of podcasts, which is fucking nuts. Fucking nuts. So, there you go.
It's a good idea for folk going out on their commute to work and that.
Aye. It sets you up for the day nicely, I think, if you were listening to this.
It's a Friday one as well, eh? It's a bit of a Friday thing, eh?
That's it. So, although Friday, I think a lot of folks still work from home. Because, well, it wouldn't be a day you would choose to go into the office, eh? Like, now that folk are starting to go back into the office.
Normally, it's been like folk. There's folk that go in on a Friday, they're the folk that like to just say, well, I've been in. And nobody was in. Like, well, I'm still doing my days in the office.
Aye. And all they do is they go in and they just get in the lift and they press 1.
Aye. They do what they want, though.
They press 0.
I'm not it,
down the bottom. 1. They just 20 minutes going up and down to the first floor. Right. First question of tonight, or this morning, goes to Tom Wallace. And by the way, thank you to Tom. And I like Tom's style here. He replied to a tweet about Restless Natives, which is a friend of the podcast, Gordon Smart's podcast with Martin Compston. And they were looking for votes for the Great British Podcast Awards. And Tom replied just saying, I voted for Short Bangers. What a legend. Absolute legend.
Up you go, Jose.
And I'm sure Tom likes the Native Restless podcast as well. It's a good podcast, but I did like that little touch. So thank you, Tom. Anyway, Tom's question category is comedies. Are you ever disappointed when you look back at old TV comedies that you once thought were brilliantly funny?
Aye. I don't do it very often, but sometimes I'll see, if I pop down to my mum and dad, you'll have fucking Only Fools and Horses on if Minder's finished, like, or the Sweeney's not on yet or whatever. And, or The Professionals, that's still kicking about.
Aye.
But Only Fools and Horses, I thought, well, everybody thought was good, eh? And by the way, sometimes some of it is.
Does still stand up, some of it,
Does, but other bits that you go, the audience are like pissing themselves or the canned laughter, and I suppose we all laughed along with it. I think that was one where there was the Christmas one they done. I think they went to Miami or they went to America anyway, right? And it was a big film sort of thing. They done it, and there was no live audience or canned laughter. And I didn't laugh as much at it, and I don't think the reviews were as good on it, and that's probably because they've not got the person telling you to laugh. You know what I mean?
It's a funny thing. It's like a wee trigger, isn't it, to do it? But you think you would find that if it's funny, you're going to find it funny anyway.
Well, I used to annoy my daughters with shit like on Disney and that when they were watching fucking Jessie, mind that fucking thing. And they would the crowd would all be pissing themselves a bit, so I used to just join in. Like, fuck it, that's brilliant. And they'd be like getting annoyed at me, and I'd say, oh, they're all laughing. So how am I not laugh? But it's not funny. Like, what are they laughing at then? Like, because it used to get my fucking nerves. But,
do we need a laugh track for this? Do you think?
Well, we'll get John.
We go and edit on.
I keep saying that we should investigate. Like, you know how, I don't know if you've ever seen it, and I don't actually know whether it's real or if it's just like a 1950s US TV show trope. But I think that's what you're talking about, where there's like, you know, when it's like filmed in front of a live studio audience, there's like a couple of lines that say applause.
Yeah.
I think we should try and get that inserted into here. But then I also think that you should get your pictures displayed on Zoom, Matty, rather than holding your phone up to the camera that nobody can ever see.
Zoom, by the way, has updated, and you can do things like, I think, by the way, but this is like live experimenting with stuff here, right? So what you've got one called AI Note Taker. Fucking didn't trust that. You've got Kahoot. You'll play Kahoot at work and that.
And the quiz things. Yeah.
It's quite a good laugh.
Actually, carry on. I'll tell you a story about
that. Coda, bring all your meeting notes, project specs, action items, and teammates in one organised doc. Nope. Name
Did it say
tags. Oh,
Showed our photos from WhatsApp or
I'm looking for a photo one. Encourage real-time interaction and widespread participation with text and images that appear beside you. I'm tempted to click one of these.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen here? And I don't know if it'll come up in the recording. Oh, hold on a wee second, right? Just fucking have to. Hold on, just check it. Don't have to pay for it, otherwise the subscriptions are going to have to go up. Right.
Just checking, like, is this the free episode while we're trying to fill the gap?
We're not filling this piece.
Right,
Just,
take your time then, Matt.
right,
I
hold
try
on,
to
here we
encourage
go.
folk to sign
Hold on.
up here.
Right,
That's what this is all about.
Today.
I'll tell you the now, you're fucking about with that, right? You mentioned Kahoot there, and it reminded me I was at a school presentation hang earlier in the week, right? One of these awards, kind of end-of-term awards things.
Uh-huh.
And so they done a Kahoot quiz. That's what minded me, but that's not the story. But although they done a Kahoot quiz, right, and you can't get on the internet in the school. Anyway, right, what do you think of this? There's an award ceremony, right?
Yep.
It's got your name at the bottom right hand side now, too.
Have I? There you go.
And it's not loudly, it's noisily. Like, I think there's a difference. Right?
Can I move that? Oh,
We've just got hello now.
By the folk listen to this can't see it. So we've got.
Well, they should sign up to YouTube.
We have got Eat Loud Round Colin. It says, and then there's another wee like hello thing here. But how can I get this on?
I thought that you were suggesting that Colin was round. I think you're actually saying that you should eat loudly around Colin.
Yeah, that is what I meant. Hold on, right. So, right, by the way, this is, you can't listen to this. This is just us. I'll close that. Spell your ma was the second message there.
Well, they can watch it if they like, yeah. Anyway, right,
I'll figure it out for the photos though. That we could have some fun with that, making me for the folk to do watch it on YouTube. They'll be going, fucking finally something better than these kids to look at.
Exactly. So I was at a school award ceremony, right, and they were giving prizes, for best effort and high achievers and all that shit, certain things.
Did you get nominated?
No, I wasn't. I never even got a mention. Fucking hell, obviously don't know me. But they rattled through. So they went the attendance, 100% attendance and no late. So that's a really important one, right? And I'm like, you're getting prizes out for what you're supposed to do. However, this was first to third year, and there was only six people, or 5 people got that award. And I thought, well, actually, that is a bit of achievement, that only 5 people out of the 3 years. It's a big school, biggest school in this side of the country. That only 5 people have managed to be there every time they're meant to be, and no lates, right? So they've done that. I went, oh, well done, okay. And then at the end they go, and we've got some awards, but these people couldn't make it, and they started rattling off, getting Matty Fairney, good effort in maths, getting all that kind of stuff, right? I know. But then they went, and we've got John, 100% attendance, and I thought, well, it's no fucking here, eh? What you fucking mean that for? He's not got it. He's not won. Like, you've got to scrap it. You've got to rip it up, burn it. Like, you can't just give it out. Like, he's not there. His mum and dad's went. We're going to take him away on holiday early. Like,
I 100% agree with that. It's like 100% means you're there all the time. I know, just fucking, you can't pick and choose.
It's not. And I mean, if they're in the school, they would have been there. You know what I mean? It's like they're not in the fucking school, so they're binned. I'm sending an email to the school.
Quite right.
To sort that out.
I was telling folk at work today, so it's obviously it's the end of the term, so there's loads of kids that are finishing primary school, high school, whatever, and you mind like having to go to the fucking school events. And the best one in the world, they're no fucking fun, are they? Like, you kind of go and you're like, you have to be there, and that was nice to see your own kids sort of like graduating, if that's what you call it. But I was like, I just told, there was Lassie in the team who was talking about being at their kids' one, and I said, I fucking hated all the school stuff. I said, I used to send in reviews after it, kind of like the nativity play, 1 star. Fucking, but it's like the kids have never even fucking been taught how to act. It's a disgrace. one kid forgot the lines. I'd quite like my money back, and she was looking at me like, not quite sure if I was serious or not. But
that's how you've positioned yourself. You've done well to get folk to think you're being serious about that.
I
Or
think,
is it? Is it good? Because that's what they think about you.
well, good.
That's believable.
Yeah, good.
You've got kids that are that are older than mine, and they've all reached that stage where they're like leaving primary school or leaving high school, leaving university or whatever. How do you feel about the hoodies and the yearbooks and all those things to acknowledge it? Do you think what are your thoughts on them?
The hoodie's all right. The hoodie's all right. They all kick about in them, like, so they do wear them.
They kick about them for fucking 3 weeks, Colin, and then they're fucking banned or consigned to.
Mine's had her primary. She had her primary 7-1 on the day. She's going to second year after the summer. So no, it's maybe yours are throwaway culture, or they grew at them too fast,
or just didn't like the school as much. All of the above, maybe. Aye. How did we go to that? 70s.
You were fucking about the hang, so I started telling a story about the irony and on a 100% attendance when I've not been there to collect it.
Old TV. I tell you which one I was really disappointed with. Rab C Nesbitt.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah,
it was on Gold or something. I was like, oh, you're a fucking beauty. Rab C Nesbitt used to be brilliant when we were wee, and it was brutal. I was like, how did we watch that?
I know. It was the same with City Lights. You remember City Lights? I watched that. That was on recently, or last maybe a year, maybe even 2 years ago now. Actually, maybe not that recent, on BBC Scotland channel. And I thought, City Lights. I used to watch that with Mum and Dad, and it's just like, fucking hell.
Aye. Some of them stand up though, like Blackadder. That's been on, and Blackadder's still funny when you watch it.
I never watched it first time.
Oh, did you not? You watch it, John? Blackadder?
I'm aware of it. But I wouldn't say that I watched that. I'm probably more familiar with Rab C Nesbitt, to be honest. It'd be interesting to go back and have a watch of that, because I do sort of remember it being like a good watch when I was wee, but like you say, I don't know if it stands the test of time, but I think some things maybe stand the test of time better than others, because maybe they're a wee bit more, I didn't mean bland, but maybe, how do you define the humour in some of these things? Because how does something stand the test of time whereas others don't? Because
I think it's going to be generic, because you get
I was going to say bland,
racist and
probably
sexist and all this stuff prevalent in the 80s and that. Anyway, there was no fucking rules for all that kind of stuff. So you watch it now and you'd be going, fucking hell, did they say that? But in the 80s, you'd probably sit laughing at it.
Was it because, do you think one of the reasons that Rab C Nesbitt hasn't stood the test of time is because it relied too much on Scottish stereotypes? Whereas Scottish humour's probably evolved quite a lot since then.
Again, because Scottish Scottish people are funny. Do you know, kind of it's a stereotype as well, but and it was funny at the time. I remember watching, you'd be creasing yourself, and you'd be repeating the jokes at school the next day, and coming the hands across the sea thing when they were at the World Cup or whatever, and all that stuff. It was funny, but you watch it now and you just cringe at it, and you go, "Fucking shit!"
It's cringe. That's what you do. Yeah.
Aye, I don't know why that is. It's a good question. If you were to kind of go and look at it, because you think if it's well written, it would stand the test of time.
Because and normally Cows and Horses, my first example, is probably not a great example, because that is still funny at times. I'm just thinking of some bits of it. But Rab C Nesbitt's a great example. That reminded me of City Lights. And then you've got, remember things like, I'm sure I've seen a bit recently, Brush Strokes. You remember that? It was like a Sunday night thing or a Sunday evening.
It was Jacko, wasn't it? Jacko,
aye. And you just go, this is fucking chronic, man. Aye. And I'm not saying it was brilliant at the time, it was Bread as well. Mind Bread with the family.
Freddie Boswell.
Freddie and that. And if you see a bit of that now, I bet that's fucking shite.
Aye. Good question. I like that one. Right, J. Caldwell Anderson, subject weather again. First one, why aren't ISO bars called icy bars in the winter?
But let's fucking change it. Let's start calling it that.
Can I be the idiot and ask what an ISO bar is?
Well, I think it's when
I can't answer.
On the map, right? See when they do the massive map, right? And this, I could be completely fucking wrong here and make a tit of myself.
Is this like the blue lines and the red lines on the weather?
Yeah, but that's the curve where it looks like bunting when they do it. I think I might make it look like that because it's
like we have circles and the triangles.
I've had a look up in the sky and I've fucking to this day not seen one when they've been there, and you would think they look fucking massive when they're talking about it on the weather. Never seen one in real life. So
we've already discussed though, the weather people, they're fucking shite at their job.
If we're calling, so are the ISO bars just in reference to the blue ones, or does that apply to the red ones as well?
I think it's both. But I think now
But
we
you only
should.
see the blue ones during the winter.
I don't know. Do you? They're definitely more prevalent in the winter.
Aye.
But you must get the odd red one.
I have the idea. I don't even care what they are.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if you're going to call the blue ones icy bars, because I think that could apply probably all year round.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be cold at like all year round at different times. What are you going to call the Ridgeon?
But it just means low pressure. It doesn't mean cold weather. I think it's because it's blue and red that you associate it with cold.
Right, okay.
Maybe they're linked in that way anyway. Like it does mean that if it's low pressure, it's cold. But it can. But I think from now on they should be called icy bars. So I think we should put that into Short Banger's canon. And
more than just icy bars, can we make sure that people actually make an effort to describe what they're seeing on the screen? Like, if we can get a weather presenter to describe them as the icy bars, that would be ideal, because then it's going to enter the public consciousness.
I got a message on. I was tagging me on a different WhatsApp group I'm in earlier on. We talk about things becoming into like out in the wild. Teen Wolf was getting talked about, and they said all they could think about was the Hearts goal there. Excellent, fucking brilliant. Right, and the second question there was whatever happened to Heather, i.e. Heather the weather. Does she still do the weather?
Not that I don't remember her doing it. I've got to Google her now.
What was her actual surname?
The weather.
Imagine if that was it, Heather the weather. It's pronounced the weather.
Would you ever be tempted to change your surname to the thing that you're known for most? Like, so for example, like, would you ever change your name to Matty Shortbangers or Matty Longbanger?
Aye, bell end.
Colin arithmetic.
Folk used to do that the way. Like that's how you had like your cooks and your farmers and your smiths and all that kind of thing. People's surnames came from their professions and their trade. Butchers. Things like that.
Razor blades. I've got, so 2009 she left there, right? She now works as a science education consultant and in the public promotion of science. What the fuck is that? It's like a made up job, eh?
Yeah, it's just telling folk to go and do science.
Science is good. Science is good.
Nah, but better than that. It's
more than that.
It's above a teacher.
Goes to like
science,
dynamic health and that and talks about it.
Aye.
I'm publicly promoting science. That's what she says.
Talking about scientists and that, right? I'd put it, Ken would be doing these Guess Who's on the Longbangers account, and we'd done the wrong answers only, right? So the right answer was Lewis Allen, but one of the answers that made me laugh early doors was Stephen Hawkins. I chuckle at things like that. There's always a reminder of the calendar thread on Hibs.net if you're of a vintage. You remember that thread, and he featured heavily in that.
That was something else. I used to piss folk off that thread.
I did, no half.
Is that thread in an archive anywhere?
Yeah.
Did we dig it out? Oh, no way.
It's in a vault. If you go to Hibsnet, there's a vault.
Do you need a private member to see that, though?
I don't know.
No.
Right, so Heather, whatever happened to Heather, we have got an actual factual answer. She's promoting science. Well, if you could have a job promoting anything, what would it be?
Myself. What about yourself? No.
Just going around just but tell everybody like Colin's brilliant.
I was taking. Aye, that's it. Because I'm not very good at it though. So I could do. It's a bit of. One thing I'm not good at. I hate that. Mid-year, end-year review sort of thing.
Oh, I got that recently. Improve my brand and increase my visibility.
Aye, that sounds like a talking to rather than a...
Improve your brand.
Do you know what? You might not be wrong about that.
Aye, so right, other than yourself, then, what would you be passionate about to go and make a career out of telling people they should go and get involved in it?
Do you know what? If I knew the answer to that, I probably wouldn't be at uni at 40.
But I'd like, just because you wanted it, you would still need somebody to pay you to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like That's why it's hypothetical. You can say whatever you want here.
It's got. Do you know what? It's an easy. It's going to sound like an easy answer, but I remember chatting to. I think it was a Norwegian guy who was like he was on his way to Easter Road, and he was just wanted to take in a game, and I basically from what is it? What's the street? Is it Albion? Might be Albion Road as you head towards Easter Road Stadium, and I basically took him under my wing from there, got him to the ticket office, kind of showed him pretty much to his seat, and I thought, fuck, this could be a job. Like anyone that's coming to Edinburgh, just set yourself up as I can sort you out for the game. I will show you the sights and sounds of Leith and Edinburgh and give you the most authentic Hibs experience ever.
Good, right? So you're Hibs, Colin.
Sorry, mate. I'm in the vault here, and I've just found the Julian Brillier thread.
Oh, is that there as well? I think the Naddy's Pish thread's there as well, which was a belter. But all the images are like kind of dropped off the internet now because it's so old. So like loads of it doesn't make sense. I think.
I was just trying to find the calendar thread for him. Promote. I'd like to promote like Hibs, I suppose.
Right. So we've got two for Hibs,
but I don't know how. I don't know how you do it because you can't. How do you change? You know, like it'd be like phoning a fuck up to get. Why even renew your season ticket because you're not going to get new ones. You know what I mean?
Popping up at schools and science fairs and everything. So they're listening to fucking header with the science. Didn't fuck science, by the way. Come and watch the Hibs. That's what you do. I would go with drawing graffiti cocks. I would promote that. Just to go and try to get everybody involved in it. Whenever you get an opportunity, just draw a graffiti knob.
You could just do that. Like, it wouldn't be difficult to be like the Banksy of graffiti cocks.
I know it's funny, right? So I was in the situation the other day where somebody handed me a notebook for something that like a wee exercise I was doing, and it wasn't my notebook, and I knew I had to hand it back, and there was a very fucking real temptation to draw one just further into the book and just
leave it.
It would never
for 3 weeks' time or something.
It would never be like back, but I refrained, sadly. Anyway, right, that's us out of time. So we will be back with another episode on Tuesday morning. If you want, you can subscribe. Go to our Twitter, click on our link, subscribe for. You can subscribe for £2 if you just want short bangers, or £3 if you want this and the football content. John, you're going to interrupt here. What are you going to say?
I just had an idea there. Like, I'd love it if you were such a prolific drawer of graffiti cocks that you could give away prizes. But if you were to put them in like really obscure places, and if folk found them, you could give away a prize. Then, as I started thinking about prizes, I thought, could we give away 1 month free subscription to Long Bangers or Short Bangers Extra for the best graffiti cock that someone sent in?
I'm sure there'd be a way to do that. I think they did about making it high art, and then I would just go by the name of Wanksy.
I mean, that's the obvious choice.
Yeah, so folk will be going, it's a cocktail. Is it a genuine Wanksy, or is it no? Like that, and then they'll sell for loads at the Tate Modern. So there you go. If you want to start imitating it already, go ahead. But there's only one Wanksy, and that's me. Right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.